Hello friends, myself Praveen Pathak. I welcome you on the series of Basics of Chemical Engineering Thermodynamics. Under that, we are going to focus on the numerical on second law of thermodynamics. So let us discuss the example number 1. What will be the change in entropy of 2 gram moles of an ideal gas when it is heated from a volume of 80 liter at 50 degrees Celsius to a volume of 120 liter at 150 degrees Celsius. So here in this problem we have to calculate the change in entropy, that is delta S, and they have given the data like 2 gram moles, that is n, small n is equal to 2 moles. Then they have also given the V1 and V2, that is 80 liter and 120 liter, and T1 and T2 conditions are also given, that is 50 degrees Celsius and 150 degrees Celsius. So we have to convert this degree Celsius in terms of Kelvin, because the value of R, that is 1.987 in terms of Kelvin, that is calorie per mole K, and the value of CV also, that is 7.88 calorie per mole K. So this R and CV values are in terms of Kelvin, that is why the temperature should be converted into Kelvin. And for this condition we know that the temperature and volume are changing, because T1, T2, V1, V2 values are given. It means temperature and volume is changing. We have to use the relation of entropy change in which both the variables are involved. So we know the equation, that is delta S is equal to N into CV ln T2 by T1 plus Nr ln V2 by V1. So applying the values, that is V1, V2, T1, T2, N, R and CV, we can calculate the value of delta S. So we get this value of delta S, that is 5.862 entropy unit or calorie per K. Now let us discuss example number 2, that is calculate the entropy change. So we are again calculate delta S involved in the isothermal reversible expansion. So this is the case of isothermal reversible expansion. Isothermal means temperature is constant, of 5 gram moles. So small n value is given, that is 5, of an ideal gas from a volume of 5 liter to a volume of 50 liter, means V1 is equal to 5 liter, V2 is equal to 50 liter at 27 degrees Celsius. So it is a isothermal case, means only one temperature should be there, that is nothing but 27 degrees Celsius. And this, that R value is given, that is 1.987. So we know the formula for the isothermal reversible expansion of an ideal gas. The delta S is nothing but N into R ln V2 by V1. So putting the values, that is V1, V2, N and R, we can calculate the value of delta S, which is 22.89 entropy unit or calorie per Kelvin. Let us discuss the third example. 1 mole of an ideal gas is compressed isothermally. So it is a ideal case, then isothermal compression is there, and small n is given, that is 1 mole at 400 Kelvin. So temperature is given from 100 kilopascal to 1000 kilopascal. So pressure is changing, that is P1 is equal to 100 kilopascal, P2 is 1000 kilopascal. The work required for this irreversible process is 20% more than that for the reversible compressions. So this is one of the condition where it gives that the work required for the irreversible process is 20% more than the reversible compressions. So we have to calculate the work done for the reversible compression first, and then we have to multiply that numerical value by 1.2, it means 20% more. The heat liberated during the process of compression is absorbed by a thermal reservoir at 300 Kelvin. So heat liberated means capital Q during the process is absorbed by thermal reservoir at 300 Kelvin. So second temperature is given, and we have to calculate first the entropy change of the gas, then the actual work required for the irreversible process. So for this isothermal compression, we know the formula for the delta S. Now in this case, here the pressure is changing, temperature is constant, and pressure values are given. That is why we are using the delta S value or delta S formula as delta S equal to N into R ln P1 by P2. So putting the values of P1, P2, N and R, we can calculate the delta S value as minus 19.14 kilojoules per K. And in the work calculations, we know that W is equal to nRT ln P1 by P2. So just applying this given formulae and the values like nRT, P1 and P2, we get the W as 7658 kilojoules or minus 7658 kilojoules. The minus sign indicates that work is done on the system. Now we know the condition that work required for the irreversible is equal to 20% more than the reversible compressions. So applying this condition, we get that W irreversible is equal to 1.2 times, that is 20% more, minus 7658. It means minus 9189.6 kilojoules per mole is the work done for the irreversible process. Now in the example 4, a small metallic object 4 kg in mass. So it means the amount of substance is given, that is represented by small m, that is 4 kg. At a temperature of 500 Kelvin is thrown into the lake which is at 300 Kelvin. So the initial temperature is 500 Kelvin, that is T1, and final temperature is 300 Kelvin, that is T2. Calculate the change in entropy of the universe. So we have to calculate delta S of universe, and the Cp values are given, that is 0.5 kilojoules per kg. Now we know that the universe is nothing but the combination of system and surrounding. So for this case, for this example, our system is that object, that is metallic object, and surrounding is nothing but the lake where that object is thrown. So the combination of object plus lake is nothing but the universe. So in the same way, the change in entropy for the universe means the combination of change in entropy for the object plus change in entropy for the lake. Now we know the condition, that is T1 and T2. We have to apply this value, put this value in the equations. Now for the calculation of delta S of object, we can use the MCP delta T calculations or MCP ln T2 by T1 calculations. So M is 4 kg, Cp is given, that is 0.5 kilojoules per kg K, and ln of T2 by T1, it means 300 Kelvin by 500 Kelvin. So we get delta S object as minus 1.02 kilojoules per K. Now for the calculations of lake, as we know that heat received by lake is equal to heat given out by that metallic object. So we are not considering any heat losses here. So whatever the heat received by lake is equal to heat given out by that metallic object. So that MCP delta T calculations. So MCP delta T, that is M is 4 kg again, Cp is already given 0.5, T2 and T1 is there, 500 minus 300, so 400 kilojoules. So this Q can be calculated. Now what is delta S for lake? So delta S can be calculated as Q by T, and we have already calculated the value of Q. We know the temperature of lake, that is 300 Kelvin. So we can put this 400 kilojoules upon 300 Kelvin and we get 1.33 kilojoules per K, that is delta S of lake. Now we have already calculated delta S of object. Now we have calculated the delta S lake. We can calculate the delta S of universe by combining the delta S of system plus surrounding, that is means object plus lake. So we get 0.31 kilojoules per Kelvin. Now in the fifth example, an ideal gas is given 300 Kelvin, 1000 kilopascal, enters a rigid and insulated apparatus. So insulated apparatus is given, it means Q is equal to 0. Now the temperature is given, initial T1 300 Kelvin, then P1 1000 kilopascal. This gas leaves the apparatus in two streams in equal quantities. One is at 360 Kelvin and 100 kilopascal, and other is at 240 Kelvin and 100 kilopascal. Calculate the entropy change, and is the process thermodynamically possible or feasible, and the given data is Cp is equal to 30 kilojoules per kilomole K. So we have to assume N, that is kilomole or mole of gas. Now in this case Cp is in terms of kilojoules per kilomole, that is why we are going to consider the N in terms of kilomole. So we are going to consider or assume that ideal gas in terms of 2 kilomole of the gas. So the 2 kilomole of gas at 300 Kelvin, 1000 kilopascal, now it is distributed in two streams, equally quantities. It is given that it is in terms of equal quantities. So stream 1, it means 1 kilomole gas, stream 2 same 1 kilomole gas, but the temperature pressure conditions are different. So as per as the values are concerned, so for stream 1, P1 is 1000 kilopascal and temperature is 300 kilo, and the final temperature and pressures are 360 Kelvin and 100 kilopascal. In the similar way for the stream 2, P1 is 1000 kilopascal, T1 is 300 Kelvin, P2 is 100 kilopascal, T2 is 240 Kelvin. So that final pressures are same but final temperatures are different. The apparatus is insulated, already discussed that Q is equal to 0, no heat interaction between the systems and surroundings. So delta S surrounding is equal to 0 because Q is 0, and delta S surrounding can be calculated as Q upon T. So as Q is 0, that is why delta S surrounding is also 0. Now we know that total entropy change is nothing but the combination of delta S of system and surrounding. We can put this surrounding delta S is 0. So it means delta S total is nothing but the delta S system. So how to calculate this delta S system? So with the help of the equation like Cp ln T2 by T1 minus R ln P2 by V1 for stream 1 plus Cp ln T2 by T1 minus R P2 ln P2 by P1, that is for stream 2. So the total gas is divided in stream 1 and 2, that is why the equation is modified, and we can put the values of P1 P2 T1 T2 and R and Cp for stream 1 and stream 2. We get 37.06 kilojoules for 2 kilomole of gas, right? So total moles are 2 kilomoles, and this is the equation for delta S total, right? So for the 1 kilomole of gas we have to divide by 2. So for the 1 kilomole of gas, the delta S total is 18.53 kilojoules per kilomole, right? So the above answer is 37.06 is for 2 kilomole. So for 1 kilomole 18.53 kilojoules per kilomole K, and the sign is positive. The process is thermodynamically possible or feasible. So if the delta is greater than 0, it means thermodynamically the process is feasible. Now in the sixth example, calculate the entropy change, that is delta S, for melting of 1 kg of ice At 273 Kelvin, the heat of fusion of ice is 334.72 joules per gram. So heat of fusion is given, 1 kg means mass of substance is given, that is ice. Temperature is given 273 Kelvin. So we have to calculate delta S. So delta S for fusion is nothing but delta H fusion divided by T at fusion state. So delta S is normally Q by T, but for the fusion cases where the phase change takes place, delta S fusion is equal to delta H fusion upon TF, fusion temperature. So fusion temperature is given and delta H fusion is also given. The heat of fusion is 334.72. So just put the values. We get delta S fusion as 1.226 kilojoules per kgK. Now in the example 7, calculate the entropy change, that is delta S, associated with the freezing of 1 mole of water. So 1 mole of water is given at 298 Kelvin, temperature is given, to ice 263 Kelvin using the following data. So heat of fusion is given 6 kilojoules per mole, Cp of ice is given 3.82, Cp of water is given 75.31 joules per mole K. Now in this case, the water at 298 Kelvin and water at 273 Kelvin is different. So we have to calculate the total entropy change for the different states. It means in the first state, when the water at 298 Kelvin is there and it is going to convert of water at 273 Kelvin, so it is going to freeze. So 298 Kelvin becomes 273 Kelvin, it means 25 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. So for this transition, the delta S is different. So for this calculation, for this first condition, for the freezing point, delta S1 is equal to Cp ln Tf by T1. So this Cp of water is given, that is 75.31 for water, because at 298 Kelvin means 25 degrees Celsius, the water is in the liquid state. So the Cp is different and the Tf and T values are given. So we can calculate the delta S1 values for the freezing purpose. So we get minus 6.6 joules per kilomole K. Now the second condition is the temperature of water going to change from 273 Kelvin to water as a solid. So the temperature is same, but the phase change takes place, means liquid water is going to change in the solid water. So for the delta S calculations, delta H fusion by Tf. Now in this case, the liquid to water transition is there, so minus delta H fusion by Tf. Latent heat of freezing is equal to minus latent heat of fusion or melting. So delta H fusion is already given, that is 6 kilojoules per mole. Now we have to convert this 6 kilojoules into 6000 joules, because other parameters or values are given in terms of joules per mole. So delta S2 can be calculated, that is minus 22 joules per mole K. Now in the third state, that water solid at 273 Kelvin is going to change water is solid at 263 Kelvin, so in the minus side. So for this purpose, the delta S calculation is in the form of Cp ln T upon Tf now. So we can put this values of Cp for this temperature, T and Tf. We can calculate the delta S3 value and we get the delta S3 value as minus 1.37 joules per mole K. So putting together all this delta S1, delta S2 and delta S3, we get the total entropy change as minus 29.97 joules per mole K. Let us discuss the example 8. Calculate the entropy of mixing of 1 mole of oxygen gas with 2 mole of nitrogen gas, assuming that the gas mixture behaves ideally. So when the mixture is there, the gas is ideal gas. So 1 mole is of oxygen and 2 mole of nitrogen. So after mixing, the gas becomes ideal and we have to calculate the entropy change. So for the entropy of mixing for the gases, the formula is given as delta S of mixing minus R ln x1. So summation of Ni ln xi, it means minus R. Now in this case only two gases are there, so N1 ln x1 plus N2 ln x2, or we can write the suffixes as oxygen and nitrogen. So moles of oxygen, that is N1 is 1 mole, moles of nitrogen N2, that is 2 mole, which is already explained or given in the example. The total moles of the gas mixture is 1 plus 2, that is 3 mole. So we can write small x1 as 1 by 3 and small x2, that is 2 by 3. So these are the mole fractions of oxygen and nitrogen in the gas mixture. So that is 0.33 or 0.667. Now we know that the value of R, that is 8.31451 joules per mole K. So delta Sm can be calculated by using these values, that is x1, x2, n1, n2 and R. So we get 15.876 joules per Kelvin. In the example 9, we have to calculate standard entropy change now. So standard entropy change means the standard pressure and standard temperature condition of the reaction. The reaction is 2SO2 plus O2, that gives 2SO3. So SO2 oxidize, that gives sulfur trioxide. Data is given, S degree, values for SO2, O2, SO3 are 248.53, 205.03 and 256.23 joules per Kelvin per mole respectively. So the S degree values of SO2, O2 and SO3 are given and reaction is also given. We have to calculate the standard entropy. So for the reactions calculations, when the chemical reactions are there, the standard entropy change can be calculated with the help of the formula, that is delta S degree products minus delta S degree reactants. So we have to put the number of moles and S degree values in the product and reactant side. So in this reaction, SO3 is products, so we have to put this S degree of SO3, which is already given, but 2 moles of SO3 is given, that is why we have to multiply this S degree SO3 value by 2. In the same way, minus summation of S degree reactants. So the reactants are SO2 and O2. So the values of S degree SO2 and O2 should be given. So for this case, the SO2 moles are 2 and O2 moles is 1. So we have to multiply by 2 and 1 for the SO2 and O2. Here some print mistake is there. So it is a value of S degree O2. So we can put these values and calculate the delta S degree for this reaction, that is minus 189.63 joules per Kelvin. Now in the example 10, calculate the entropy change for melting of 5 kg of ice at 273 K. The heat of fusion of ice is 334.72 kilojoules per K. So we can easily calculate, because in one of the example it is already given that delta S of fusion is equal to delta H fusion by TF. So just by putting the values of delta H fusion and the temperature value of fusion, so that is 273. Now in this case it is the calculation is for 1 kg, because the heat of fusion value is given as kilojoules per kg. Now we have to calculate it is for 5 kg. So in the last step we have to calculate the delta S fusion for 5 kg by multiplying 5 into that delta S fusion value. Now in the example 11, calculate entropy change in vaporization of 1 mole of water at 373 Kelvin heat of vaporization of water. Now in this case also the entropy change can be calculated, but instead of freezing or melting, now it is vaporization case. So for the calculation of vaporizations also, in the similar manner, delta S vaporization is equal to delta H vaporization upon temperature of boiling now. So in the vaporization, liquid gets converted into vapor, so phase change takes place. So we have to take the boiling point temperature now, boiling point temperatures. So like freezing point temperature in case of freezing. So just apply the values that is given. TB is given, delta H vaporization also is given. We can calculate delta S as 109.96 joules per kilomole. Now in the case of 12th example, calculate delta S. If 2 moles of an ideal monoatomic gas is heated from 27 degrees Celsius to 227 degrees Celsius at constant pressure and at constant volume. So two conditions are there. Cv is given, that is 1.5 R. So we have to calculate delta S for the monoatomic gas when 2 moles of an ideal monoatomic gas is there, and temperature 1, temperature 2 conditions are given. Cv is also given. So for the case 1, condition 1, constant pressure, we have to assume the basis, that is 2 moles of gas. For the constant pressure process, the delta S calculations are NCP ln T2 by T1. So for an ideal gas, Cp minus Cv is equal to R. So in the previous lecture we have derived this equation, relationship between Cp and Cv. So we can put the value of Cv, that is 1.5 R, and we can calculate the Cp. So that is 1.5 R plus R, that is 2.5 R. So Cp is 2.5 R. Here is a equal sign instead of plus. So substituting the Cp value in the above equation, we get delta S equal to N into 2.5 R ln T2 by T1. So N is given, that is 2 mole. R we know that 8.314 joules per mole K. T1 is also given in degree Celsius. We have to convert in terms of Kelvin because the R value is in terms of Kelvin. Then T2 is also given 227. We have to convert it again Kelvin. So putting this value in the delta S equation, we get 21.235 joules per Kelvin. In the similar fashion, for the second condition, that is at constant volume, we know the formula for delta S is NCV ln T2 by T1. Now Cv is 1.5 R. Put the value of this Cv and T1 and T2. We can calculate the delta S as 12.741 joules per Kelvin. Thank you.